Number 23, Brian Stitt.
It's the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers. Here's Mark Mason with the Denver lineup.
McDyess. At center, number 45, Rafe LaFrenz. At guard, number 4, Chauncey Billups. And at guard, number 31, Nick Van Exel. Now, your Blazers. Portland's head coach is Mike Dunleavy. The assistant coaches are Tony Brown, Jim Ian, Bill Musselman, Tim Gergerich, and Elston Turner. The strength and conditioning coach is Bob Medina. The Blazers athletic trainer is Jay Jensen. The equipment manager is Jeff Clark. From Maryland, number 42, Walt the Wizard Williams. At forward, 6'9", from Xavier, number 44, Brian Grant. At center, 6'11", from North Carolina, number 30, Rasheed Wallace. At guard, 6'5", from UNLV, number 34, J.R. Ryder. And at guard, 5'10", from Arizona, number 3, Damon Stoudemire.
All right, everybody, that was the starting lineup, and Eddie and Steve will be back.
Welcome back to the Rose Garden. This is the scene, of course, for tonight's Blazers game between the Denver Nuggets, record 1-6, and the Portland Trail Blazers coming in 3-2. And right now, let's head over to Fred Meyer and find out what Steve's got for keys tonight.
Well, the thing that the Trailblazers have to do is have the attitude that we're all in this together. There can't be, I've got to get mine. So they've got to all sacrifice for the good, which is winning the ball game. Against the Denver Nuggets team, which is up and down, they've got to be able to sustain their energy throughout the 48 minutes. And the team that's reckless like Denver, you've got to control your turnovers. Do that, you get by with an easy victory.
All right, Steve, here the Godfather's Pizza starting lineup, and you can see they're fairly small up front.
The Trailblazers have a lot of size and a lot of flexibility. I don't think that the Nuggets are as small as they say. They may not be a physical team, but certainly with McDyess and LaFrance, you've got some size, and with the quickness of Stiff, that's the small forward, you can create some problems.
And the Denver Nuggets win the tip. That's Nick Van Exel averaging 16.7 and 7 assists a game. Brings it up and down into the well. They go to McDyess, who has been a leader in 5 different categories for him, and then they turn the ball over right away. They've been turning it over 15 times a night. Very quickly, McDyess at 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. Rafe LaFrenz at 14 points and 8 rebounds. Chauncey Billups, a real young point guard, are playing the 2 actually, at 14 points per game. That's Damon Stoudemire. And Damon for 3.
Well, they try to start the ball game the same way they have in the last 2, and that's by posting J.R. Ryder, making the defense react, which they did. They were able to find an open Damon Stoudemire for the first bucket of the ball game.
Blazers with the lead. Denver with the inbound. Van Exel from Billups. Billups is on top now. Stith is on the left wing, and the rebound on the missed shot goes to Brian Grant. Damon up the side. Damon looking down Friends, and there's the move to the middle, and Friends with a rebound.
Creates problems. If you remember, playing against Ryder, he had a terrific ball game in Denver. So you know he's a guy that can be very forceful at the offensive end.
Block shot, Billups on the attempt by Ryder. JR on the reload, and Walt Williams fires from outside and knocked Dwayne out of bounds. With Stith, who can play 2 or 3, where is he really most effective?
It depends on the matchup, and I think that he's got a guy that he can play with against Walt Williams. I think he prefers to play the guard position, but I think that D'Antoni is trying to find what players are going to be effective for him.
J.R. Ryder trying to find Rasheed. Goes back weak, now becomes strong. Walt Williams, he's got a 3. And the Blazers with a nice 10-0 lead. Bob Delaney, James Capers, and Jim Kinsey are working the game tonight. Delaney, of course, the official that got sick here a year ago, had to be taken to Emmanuel Hospital, and he wanted to thank those folks for the professional treatment he received. He said that they were the best. So thanks on behalf of Bob to the folks at Emmanuel. Stoudemire on the pull-up, and on the miss, Rafe LaFrentz. LaFrentz is a young guy who'll fill out. He'll get bigger. He's right around 7 feet tall now, but he should get a little thicker, and there he is. And no surprise that he would take the 3. He is their leading 3-point field goal percentage shooter at this point. Walt for another. Walt for 3 more. Walt's got 13 on the board for the Blazers, and the Nuggets have yet to score, and Walt Williams with 6.
Now, Dunleavy is calling for pressure on the ball. What he wants to do is force the Nuggets to continue to set up further away from the basket. Give them nothing but jump shots. McDyess with a quick spin. That ball goes off the foot of Brian Grant. But what they are right now is in kind of a dazed attitude, and you want to keep them there. They don't know where their offense is coming from, and most of it is jump shooting.
McDyess, who came over here for the big money after having refused the Phoenix team, who wanted him desperately. And LaFrentz gets the Nuggets on the board.
Now that was by Van Exel. Van Exel's penetration broke down the defense, and LaFrentz was right there for the finish.
That happened almost 4 minutes into the game, and the Blazers come right back to the other end and get 2 out of Rasheed Wallace. He's got 6, and the Blazers lead 15-2 here in the first quarter. McDyess with a turn jump. Rebound, Walt Williams. Blazers coming into the game about 43 rebounds tonight.
Well, they're giving Wallace a chance to go one-on-one against Rafe LaFrentz. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive in his attitude. This is the guy that I can really wear out and go at him every single time they leave him alone in a one-on-one situation.
LaFrentz actually has played well against some of the big boys in the league. Had 24 points and 11 rebounds against Shaq. In the matchup against the Lakers, Van Exel on the way to the back door is fouled on the way in.
Walt Williams got the first one, is going to get tagged for the second, but it was a very good reacting defense right here. It looked like Chauncey Billups was going to be able to get into the middle, and it was Walt Williams that knocked it away. The ball came back to Van Exel, who was fouled by Walt Williams. Now they give that foul to Rasheed Wallace.
15-2 Blazers right now. Nick Van Exel, who really welcoming the change to get over to Denver after having a rather stormy year or two with Bill Harris down in L.A. I think the media probably took it and blew it a little out of proportion, and it got a little nasty toward the end. So Van Exel over here with a chance to lead the team his way, and he's got them their 4th point of the ball game, and now an offensive foul.
Well, they say Ryder traveled, so he spun out of there before he put the ball on the floor.
J.R. Ryder, who banged the knee the other night. Good to see he's back and okay. Had to leave the game, never came back. So on the turnover by the Blazers, Van Exel brings it over. That's Billups, who would be a senior in college had he stayed. Now in his 2nd year in the league, McDyess.
That's McDyess' spot right now. He likes to get down in the low post, spin baseline. He'll either take it off the glass or go straight in. Gets his first 2 of the night.
They say he has an incredible work habit, really terrific, and nice job for them so far. Look at Rashid stay with it on the trampoline, and it's now 17-6, and Rashid has 8. And out ahead, the ball almost gets a favorable bounce for Denver, but the Blazers come back. And they transition back 2-on-3. Now 3-on-3. Damon has it knocked away by Stiff. And then on the reload, scoops to JR.
Now they have a comfortable lead. And what they want to do right now is start moving a little bit quicker at the offensive end. Just because they have the lead, the defense is off of them. Move the ball, move people a little bit quicker, and punish that defense. Get layups whenever you can because they're allowing you to do whatever you want at the offensive end.
Walt Williams will inbound with 24 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to JR. Takes to the hoop. Beautiful reverse banger off the glass. And it's 19-6. And Ryder with a pair. Ryder coming in almost 15 points a game. His first 2 tonight. McDyess all by himself on top. No, and the rebound by Brian Grant. He's got 4. 19-6. Damon starts to the back of the circle. Gives for Walt. Walt on the miss. And the save by Rasheed Wallace. Walt is 2 for 3 on the 3. Make it 3 for 4. Walt Williams has got 9. And the Denver defense packing back inside and leaving the perimeter men open. 22-6 Portland.
Well, it's the offensive rebound, and Portland's doing a better job of out-hustling Denver at both ends of the floor, therefore the big lead.
Denver's played 7 games now in 10 days, and on this missed ball, banged way back on top. And Van Exel will start it up from the Cyclops.
With the exception of the Van Exel drive and penetration, they've not really been able to get anything close to the basket, so they've been a perimeter-oriented team here in the first 6 minutes.
Brian Grant with his 5th rebound of the ball game, and Rasheed can't quite get the handle on it and knocks it out of bounds. We have a substitution coming in for the Denver Ball Club. Coming on right now is Eric Washington. And Chauncey Billups will head to the side. Billups at 6'3", Washington at 6'4", just a little bit taller, but not quite as thick. And the Blazers, in a moment, will get Jim Jackson in the ball game. On the side, crossed the way, as Van Exel will bring it over. LaFrentz, and he takes to the rack and gets a pair. So he's got 4. Is this the kind of offense that really allows Van Exel to shine?
Well, that was a terrific play for him. What they've got to do is run that play until the Trailblazers adjust. And what they've done is just try to post Antonio McDyess and then shoot over the top. Ryder's trying to slide inside. Will get 1.
Strong move as he dices his way down the left side of the lane and lays it up with the left hand.
So Grant goes out of the ball game. Walt Williams goes out. Jackson in. Jermaine O'Neal gets an early call.
And Eric Washington got that foul. 24-8. Jermaine got a little bit more playing time the other night, but getting an early run here tonight with 4:29 to play in the first quarter. And Ryder makes the 3-point play, and he's got 5 for the game. 25-8. The Trailblazers with a nice early lead, the biggest lead of the ball game. 4:21 to play here in the quarter. McDyess, they reverse it and try and go back to McDyess, and there he is on Jermaine. Jermaine stays right there, and Jimmy Jackson, who came in, gets the rebound, and Damon not quite ready for it, but manages to go back and get it. And Damon Stoudemire with one that hung on the rim and didn't quite get the roll. Out ahead on the spot up. And on the missed shot, Washington, the rebound lost by Bryant Stitt.
Now, what's wrong with the Denver Nuggets offense is that, one, they're shooting deep and no one knows that the shot is coming up, so they don't have a chance to get an offensive rebound. And Mike D'Antoni might wish he was coaching back in Italy before this is all said and done.
Spent 7 years in Italy and had a record of 178-78. Jermaine on the miss. Blazers try and save, can't get it. D'Antoni, incidentally, was with the Denver Ball Club last year in a variety of capacities. Assistant coach, interim general manager, player personnel person, brought over there by Alan Bristow, who is now the deposed coach, and Kelvin Cato checks into the Blazers lineup. D'Antoni spent 20 years in Italy in various capacities, 13 as a player after leaving the NBA. And the running one-hander by Nick Van Exel is good. So the Nuggets now have come back to within 15, and Nick Van has got himself 4.
The Trailblazers had a great start from Walt Williams and Rasheed Wallace, and now it'll be up to Cato, O'Neal, Jackson, Ryder, and Stoudemire to keep up the offensive energy. Van Exel.
He's trying to get them back in the game. Kelvin Getson goes immediately to JR. JR's got himself a situation with Van Exel. Wants to clear out the side. He wants to back down 6-5 on 6-1 and 2. And an open Jermaine O'Neal hits the shot. A much better looking jump shot for Jermaine, and he's worked arduously on that. He's got his first 2, and it's 27-10 Blazers. Off the top stick, back to McDyess.
And when you have McDyess and LaFrance both shooting over the top, and I mean deep shots, you're not going to get much. LaFrance fortunately got the rebound, put the cap on it.
He was the 3rd player picked in the draft last year. First choice for the Denver Nuggets, and a good one. Averaged about 20 points and 11.5 rebounds in Kansas. First team All-American. Rafe LaFrance from a little town in Iowa. J.R. Ryder. Ryder with that leap and lean. O'Neal with a follow-through down. Jermaine stayed right inside, got good board position. Rebound, stick back, 4 points, 29-12. Blazers. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Antonio McDyess, LaFrance right down the middle again, blocked, and it'll be a goaltend and a foul, and we will have a timeout. Timeout call, 29-12. Blazers. Maybe we can get that young guy back, huh? Hey, a future Blazer. Sitting here at Little Liquid Sport at Paul's Resort with Mom. Right now, LaFrance at the line. They did not call a goaltend. They changed that call, Steve. So LaFrance is at the line for a carry.
Well, LaFrance is fortunate to be at the line, and he traveled before he got there and got the foul, but he has at least been able to be aggressive at the offensive end, make some things happen. He's their leading scorer here in the first quarter of play with 6 points.
He's also their best free throw percentage shooter, Steve, at 90%. He misses the first. And this one honeycombs out. So a real rare thing for LaFrance, at least thus far. He made his first 16 free throws in the pros. And a traveling violation on Ryder, his second of the game.
Turnover, both players jumping their chest and saying it's their fault. More people being placed in the lineup for Mike D'Antoni. Here we go. Danny Fortson is in along with Eric Williams, McDyess up front, Van Exel, and Eric Washington.
29-12, the Trailblazers with the lead. Washington slashes to the rack and lays it in.
And that's what's going to get them back in the game, trying to drive the ball to the basket. As long as Portland makes them a perimeter team, they will control this game. They will be able to run the basketball and have their way. That's
Washington, and in the event that you're not familiar with him, he played at Alabama, was the #2 pick of Orlando a couple of years ago, 47th overall, and he's now here, obviously. And now the team foul situation, that is 4 for them, first under 2 minutes. And the shot by Ryder on top is good. He's got 7, Blazers 31-14. Van Exel looking to McDyess, trying to work on Jermaine. They cheat over to get help. McDyess by himself, pretty good move. They can't get the rebound. Trying to power up again inside. And a foul called on the play. Danny Fortson, who came in during that last opportunity, will go to the line. Big, strong guy, played at Cincinnati, 6'7", 260.
McDyess is short with it, and Fortson just stays with the basketball and is able to come back in, surprise the defense of the Trailblazers, get the foul, first trip to the line.
And he misses. And this is a team that is, they can't afford to miss anything. Coming in, they were a 74% foul shooting team. Fortson was the 10th pick in the draft 2 years ago. It's his second year in the league, and he makes the second. Remember him, really an overachiever at 6'7" against much taller people in the college ranks, but his strength helped him. As Jim Jackson on the miss, the rebound tapped into the hands of Ryder. Under a minute to play in the quarter now. 31-15 Trailblazers. He started out beautifully, 13-0. Heyman tries to split the knee, lost possession of the ball. He gets it out now to Van Exel. And a pull-up three, he can do that, and misses it. And Ryder will save and bring it down the side with plenty of time. Up to Cato. Back to Damon, and they'll bring it out and try and work a good shot.
One thing you have to do when you're running the floor is be ready to catch the ball. And a couple of times we've seen the big people surprised by the fact that it's been thrown in their direction, and that tells you that they're not used to running, but they'll get better at it. O'Neal short with that.
He was right there. Good position, good idea. Didn't get it done. 2 seconds remaining. Van Exel all the way to the basket, and he scoops it up and in. 31-17, Portland at the end of one.
Tonight from the beautiful Rose Garden, Denver and Portland. All of you in, let's say, Klamath Falls, down there in Roseburg, over in Grants Pass, in the capital city of Salem, wherever you may be out along the Northwest, it's Blazer Vision and the Portland Trailblazers. Once again, Eddie and Steve.
All right, Bill, thank you. Enjoy yourself, and let's see if the Blazers can do the same thing in the second quarter they did in the first. They'll bring Arvydas back in the game. Played a lot of minutes, as we mentioned at the outset, but playing very well with a career-high 9 assists the last game, and that 29% on Denver's part. Some of that defense, some of it just not real good shooting, and the Blazers off to a real nice 13-0 start out of the blocks.
Now that really has put them in good stead to control this ball game, and is a real key for Portland extending the lead now is the types of shots they get at this end of the floor. If they settle for jump shots and they're deep out on the floor, that can allow the Denver Nuggets to get back in the game. If they work to take the ball to the basket, drive it, they'll stay on top.
Just like that, Stacey Altman, who starts the second quarter with Arvydas Sabonis and Jermaine O'Neal up front. Damon and Jimmy Jackson are the guards. Stacey Altman with his first 2 of the game. And the jumper by McDyess out of the corner, no good. There'll be a loose ball foul here, I believe, on Danny Fortson.
Loose ball foul, Denver, for 15, Danny Fortson.
That's who it was. Crawling over the back of Arvydas Sabonis, who got his hair cut back pretty good. Arvydas put the sheep shears on him. Greg Anthony now will check in, and Damon Stoudemire will go to the side. Blazers have most of their second unit on.
Now what they've got to do is use Sabonis inside and punish the smaller Denver Nuggets. Make sure that they go inside, come back out, make the defense react. And as I said before, they don't have to go deep. If they just continue to pass and cut, they're going to get something going to the basket.
Anthony all over Van Exel, draped all over the back like a not too stylish coat. As they give it down deep to McDyess, and McDyess back out to Eric Williams, who's in the game for the first time. And on the drive, Eric Williams fouled on the play by Jim Jackson. Eric Williams, 6'8" from Providence. This is originally the #1 pick of the Boston Celtics. And now another new player coming in the game. This is Corey Alexander. You may remember Corey as a member of the San Antonio Spurs as Eric Williams goes to the foul line and makes the first.
Perception is everything, Eddie, and Corey Alexander said, you know, we have a better basketball team here in Denver than we did in San Antonio. We have more players at every position, better players, and yet
perception is blinding in his case. I don't see that. As the block on the turn by Jackson, Eric Washington blocked that shot. So you got Eric Washington, Corey Alexander, Eric Williams, Antonio McDyess, and Danny Fortson out there.
Eric Williams has lost a lot of weight, and in this position he'd be looking to score the ball, but makes a nice dish inside to a diving Antonio McDyess and one.
Beautiful play. They run the cutter from the backside, get an easy pair.
Well, they're concerned about the mismatch with Eric Williams, and Cato leaves his man. That exposes the middle. Bang, they're right there on the money, and McDyess with a chance for a three-point play. But they've been able to keep him out of the ball game. O'Neal out, Rasheed Wallace in.
Rasheed will go up front with Arvydas Sabonis and Stacey Augmon. And McDyess will step to the foul line, and McDyess right now, 4 points in the game, came in averaging about 20 points and 10 rebounds.
He is going to get numbers because he's going to stay out on the floor. He's going to get opportunities. It's a question of percentage.
This Denver club, incidentally, had a game on Monday against the Phoenix Suns. They had a 19-point lead in that game, blew it and lost 115-106. And that has caused a lot of concern amongst their coaches. On the miss by Rashid. Fortune on the rebound. Alexander with the ball. And again, remember what Steve said. A lot of opportunities to just be aggressive and take it inside. Follow jam with a miss. Fortune on the miss by McDyess.
Well, the smaller team right now is trying to take the ball to the rim, get themselves back into the ball game. They've cut Portland's lead to 10. Steal McDyess.
Here they come, trying to split the D is Corey Alexander. He played at Virginia as a collegiate player. And he's bumped by Greg Anthony. The defense got to shore it up a little bit. On the slash inside, Fortune and Arvydas Sabonis with a rebound. Sabonis has been rebounding very well the last couple of games. There's Jackson on a Sabonis screen. Steps inside, great pass to Stacey Augmon. Now there's a complete play by Jim Jackson. Drew the D off the rotation, open man Augmon, and it's 35-23 Blazers. Augmon with 4. Washington, they run that back cut up the baseline this time. McDyess, and the pass was a little hot. And the Blazers now on a timeout with a 12-point lead. On Saturday night. Rasheed Wallace coming back. He'll come on the floor with Greg Anthony, Arvydas Sabonis, Jim Jackson, Stacey Augmon. And for the Denver Nuggets, he'll have LaFrentz in the middle, the 240-pound rookie, along with pretty much the same people they had out there before. Let's just double check inside. Danny Fortune trying to defend on Arvydas Sabonis. That's 6'7" against 7'3". And Rasheed over the top of LaFrentz. Easy stuff. Rasheed Wallace. I think he hurt himself a little bit. Went up and came down a little awkwardly. Let's see.
That wasn't an easy stuff. This is a big-time facer, but watch the extension and right over LaFrentz, who got there late. And that's one of the things that he will learn, but you will see the extension and the play as he comes back in and right up over the top. This is a terrific effort by Wallace.
He shows you that explosive ability to get up off the floor and make an exciting play, and the Blazers lead 37-23. And trying to fatten that lead a little bit, can't get it done. Now Corey Alexander will bring it over. Greg Anthony's going to make him work for it, however. Puts a little pressure on him. Go to LaFrentz. Try to dump it into the well, and they go down deep to Eric Williams.
Now, you know, Eric Williams was a bigger guy 2 years ago, had more weight, was more of a post-up power player. He's lost a lot of that weight. And in coming back from a knee injury, he's not going to be the same effective inside player that he once was.
Tore his ACL, played very sparingly last year. He's gotten stronger, however. Went from a 160-pound bench press to 360. Inside, they go to Sabonis. And Sabonis, with that easy baby hook, has his first 2 of the night and a 16-point Portland lead. Danny Fortune working for Stitt. There's Eric Williams, and that little bailout jumper on the right side is right there. He doesn't even look like the same guy. Steve has mentioned it a couple of times, but I can tell you, this is physically, he looks like he's got his old uniform, and it's about 3 sizes too big. Arvydas Sabonis with an easy pair. He's got 4, 41-25 Trailblazers.
And if the Trailblazers have patience, they will be able to get any shot at the offensive end they want. And their key to continuing to build on the lead is the types of shots they're going to give the Denver Nuggets, make them continue to play over the top of the defense.
Alexander thought about going right, comes left, dumps it into the corner, up the base on the way to the rack. Here's Fortune. Well, that was Williams. Back along the inside, they go Augmon, and Augmon with a throw down it. And there he is again, Steve, doing exactly what you said. Aggressively taking the ball to the basket off the break. He's got 6. Blazers lead 43-25. And we have a timeout. Timeout. Blazers on top. A good time to remind you that this Friday's Blazers versus Celtics game is on pay-per-view. Call TCI Cable or your local cable company now to order. The Blazers and the Boston Celtics. Should be fun. Our only look at them this year, so Why don't you join us? If you can't be here in person, join us on Blazer Vision. Call TCI or your local cable company. Well, the Blazers have done a nice job moving the ball around, Steve. So far, 15 assists. The Nuggets only 5.
Well, they're going to be able to do whatever they want at the offensive end. And it's a question of making good decisions with the basketball. Sabonis is out. Grant back in the ball game.
The
Steal.
He telegraphed the pass and his foul on the way down by Corey Alexander. So Anthony made a nice steal on the play, and the Blazers had a bust out going. And with 6:49 to play, there'll be a 2-shot foul coming on this one.
Now, the 2-shot foul, he had a clear path to the hoop and an obvious advantage, so they give him an opportunity to get to the free throw line.
Incidentally, we told you that Walt Williams had missed one 3-point attempt. They changed that and said that that one shot was not a 3. So Williams, who's not in the game right now, is officially 3 for 3 on his 3-point field goal attempts tonight. Greg Anthony missing on the first. Makes the second, and the Blazer lead now 44-25 by 19 points. First point of the ball game for Greg Anthony. Biggest lead by the Trailblazers. Anthony averaging about 4 points a game.
Jackson trying to get to the ball, came right through Stith. His first foul of the night. 13.
44-25, the Blazers with a lead, and Corey Alexander trying to work it against Greg Anthony.
Well, the Nuggets are confused offensively, and that's when you know your defense is doing a good job. They get another turnover, and Anthony steals again on Corey Alexander.
And here's Augman slashing inside, leave for Jimmy Jackson, and a 3-second call against the Trailblazers at the Boulevard. That's maybe a hair late getting out of the middle. 6:25 to play here in the first half. Alexander down, Van Exel back in. Van Exel is a guy that doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Walt Williams back in the ball game. Jim Jackson down. Van Exel, incidentally, in that loss the other night to Phoenix, sat almost the entire fourth quarter, played but 2 minutes, and there was some controversy over that. Why wasn't he in the game? Now you've got a foul called against the Denver Nuggets. This is an offensive foul called on Antonio McDyess. His second. Of course, offensive fouls are not team fouls, so both teams now sitting at 3 team fouls. 44-25 score of the ball game. The Blazers with a lead. Augman, Wallace, Walt Williams, who just came back. At this end of the floor, you decide what you're going to take. Walt Williams coming in close, and really a good try. Would have a chance to offensive rebound, but they don't. The Nuggets get the rebound and quickly go the other way. Don't foul, you by yourself, mate. Trying to back down inside, going up strongly is Eric Williams. Offensive foul. Yep. You know, going back to some points that you and I both made regarding Eric Williams, you realize that this fellow played at 270, so he was a big man. He's down below 230 now. He's lost a lot of weight, a lot of body fat is what they say. Say he's gotten stronger, but he looks like he's having a difficult time muscling the big boys. When you're a power player and you've been carrying a certain kind of weight and girth with you, it works for you if you know how to use it. Van Exel spinning his way in. Block. Beautiful block by Brian Grant. Tries to clear it out to Walt Williams. Almost lost it to Stiff. Rasheed on the glide. Tried to throw it down and couldn't. Would have been spectacular had he done it. And back come the Nuggets. Van Exel to McDyess. They double and they go to Williams. Attacks the basket. Blocked by Rasheed Wallace. Eric Williams trying to drive Broadway, and Rasheed Wallace blocked and knocked him away. And the foul on Rasheed, his second. Blazers 4. Go back at the interior defense of the Trailblazers. You can see that they're reacting and have been reacting very well to the basketball. This one blocked from the rear as Van Exel thought he was there, and it's knocked out of his hand. What Eric Williams has gotten from the weight loss is quickness, but he still hasn't found an effective way to use it. Stiff out of the ball game, Chauncey Billups in. Williams averaging 6 points a game. J.R. Ryder coming back to the Trailblazers. Augman out. Anthony goes off, and Damon comes back in for Portland. And here's Eric Williams at the line. Had a brilliant career in college. really a nice player at Providence. 14th player chosen in the draft by the Celtics, and looked like he was going to be a dandy for Denver. But he tore that ACL, played in, I think it was 4 games. Both free throws made by Williams. 44-27 now. The Blazers with the lead. And Grant tries to drop down deep on McDyess.
Well, they're trying to post Grant, get him going offensively. Comes back in, squeezes one off on the angle against McDyess.
46-27 the score. The Trailblazers with the lead. They've led right from the get-go tonight. McDyess with a save, and he gives to Chauncey Billups. I think this fellow's going to be a pretty nice player before it's all over. And he's bumped on the play and fouled by J.R. Ryder. See, the Celtics are playing at Vancouver tonight. They're down 27-18 in the second quarter. Antoine Walker and Kenny Anderson with that club, and there are tickets available. They'll be here on Friday night. Family fun night. Hope you can come on out. Milwaukee team with a lead of 7 over the Bulls, 86-79. Under a minute to play in Milwaukee. And the Suns leading the Spurs in the fourth quarter by 3. Here's Chauncey Billups, 20 points. Again, reminding you, he would have been a senior in college had he stayed. He dropped out after his sophomore year. This is the second. 1 for 2, 46-28. The Blazers now leading the Denver Nuggets. Damon Stoudemire for a pair. He's got 2. It's a 20-point lead. Damon with 5 points in the ball game and under 4 to play here in the half. Blazers shooting the ball very well, as you just saw. Block shot inside. They get it back, however.
Cleon Clark comes in and immediately gets rejected, but presence of mind to keep it, and they get it right back. Another steal by Eric Williams.
Clark is a young man from UNLV who really had some nice numbers for them, but extremely thin. Drafted this past June by the Orlando Magic, number 13 in the first round, and then traded over here. 48-28. And Ryder trying to launch a little jumper over Billups, and he's fouled on the play.
Ryder is proving that he likes it down on the post, and he's showing a variety of moves and ways to get the ball off. At that time, a little finesse, the green shakes, surprise Billups, go to the line.
A 20-point lead, and J.R. Ryder at the line, and he makes it 21. The Lakers just underway against the Mavericks. The Wizards beaten by the Magic in Orlando, 96-85, and the Timberwolves have beaten the Houston Rockets 116-102. Stephon Marbury had a career high 39, and he had 12 assists to go with it. And special. Both free throws good. Ryder with 9, 50-28. The Trailblazers with their biggest lead of the night so far. And the defense tightens up, tries to extend.
Well, they've had the Nuggets disorganized and confused at the offensive end, and the defensive pressure has made them mostly an outside shooting team, but that time Clark gets inside, 2 hands over the top.
He's 6'11", they say 220, but I don't think so.
Well, at 6'11", you can look that bad. Because that's a lot of frame to cover up, and 220 is not a lot of beef.
Good idea by Wall, changed up, saved it, and Rasheed takes it to the middle, but before he can get the shot, he is fouled by Eric Williams.
Well, it's a penalty situation, so when we come back after the break, Rasheed Wallace will go to the line.
We have 2:44 remaining, and the Blazers by 20, and Ann Schatz has got to do a great job. The Blazers shooting 57%. That's pretty hot stuff, and the Nuggets have up theirs to 33%.
In a quarter. You know, the key, of course, is patience for the Trailblazers. You get a big lead, and you have a tendency, as they did against the Dallas Mavericks, to then take the quick early shot. And if you work just a little bit harder, move the ball, move people in the direction of the basket, you usually end up with a higher percentage.
One other score to report. Final, the Miami Heat 91, Detroit 80 in Detroit.
Well, they returned the favor because Detroit went down to Miami, start the season off, and knocked them off.
Right. Rasheed at the line. Gets the right bounce, and the Blazers now lead by 21.
Wallace is leading scorer in the ball game, and he's got 12.
Turner's got it. Come on, Steve, come get it.
You see the score of that Seattle-Utah game last night, Steve? Second lowest point total by Utah since the shot clock.
Well, you know, every now and then the Jazz will have one of those games where they throw up and they can't figure out why. This is a team that's led the NBA in field goal percentage the last couple of seasons, and they shoot 30% in that ball game. You know, not a lot of points scored by either team, but watch out for the Jazz in the next contest.
Brian Grant with 9 rebounds so far. Van Exel on that last miss, and the Blazers lead by 22. Rasheed, he wanted to get it to Bryant, who was cutting back door, and then threw it, and Clark on the deflection gets it. Here's Williams on the drive attempt to the basket, and is fouled on the play. One thing you must say about Williams, Snapper, and that is he's not embarrassed at all about taking the ball to the basket.
No, he's attacking. And, you know, good things have happened for him in terms of being able to get to the free throw line, score inside, and that's the strength of his game. He's always been a guy that's bringing it to the rim, so he hasn't changed in that regard. He's quicker in getting there, and he's working on 7 points, a chance to get to 8, and that's the bright spot for the Nuggets, who've only scored 14 points in the quarter.
Williams in his 4th year. He's one of the older people on this team. They have 3 rookies and 4 second-year men on their roster. So they are very young, and they're looking down the line at maybe 3 years out before they really start to show. 52-32 on the 2 free throws made. Walt Williams, he attacks and has it poke checked away. I think it was Phillips that got a piece of it, and they get it right back to him to see if he can reward himself. Ball knocked out. Walt Williams has got it. Ryder in the middle. Give it to Damon. And Damon to the basket, fouled on the play by Chauncey Billups. Billups, who played at Colorado, was the 3rd player chosen in the draft by the Celtics a year ago.
That's great offensive pressure and unselfish play as they move the ball ahead, keep the pressure on the defense, and Billups has to try to come in from the rim and try to make a play, but Ryder didn't waste any time in getting the ball to the man that was in a position to do some damage.
52-32 with 1:31 to play here in the first half. Brian Stitt will come in, and Chauncey Billups will go out. Billups with 2 fouls, McDyess with 2, Washington and Williams with 2 for them, and the Blazers with Wallace, Jackson, and Cato with 2 fouls for them. And Stoudemire making both free throws. He has 7 points for the evening. 54-32 Blazers.
What Portland has been able to do in this half is keep the Nuggets from getting any rhythm. You know, Williams continues to bring it quickly to the rim. Fouled again. This one against Walt Williams. Now, Walt Williams has got to think about one thing. Eric Washington drives right almost 99% of the time. So you got to try to get over on that right hand, make him go in another direction. He's starting to build a little bit of offensive confidence.
Williams makes the first, 54-33. He's 7 for 7 at the line, add 1. Got a tattoo on his arms, on the forearms, so each forearm. One says original and the other one says creation, just to remind himself of how he's rebuilt his body, the original creation. He's got 10. Brian Grant on the miss. The follow jam by Rasheed Wallace. That'll bring you right out of your seats, huh? He's got 14, 56-34. We have under a minute to play here in the first half. Williams again. And Williams has been the man for the Denver Nuggets here in this first half.
He's 12 in the quarter, and he's doing it all basically on his own. Hasn't gotten much help from his team as they're down by 20 points.
Quick! Damon wants to kind of get it back, and he does. And outside Jay, he's got 9, and it's 58-36. The Blazers with the lead, and Damon with that nice-looking form on that jump shot.
McDyess has not been able to get into the ball game offensively, and he's the guy that can do that with a quick first step. Misses it totally. You got a 3-on-2 bust out.
Ryder trying to get the ball to Williams, and the ball deflected over there by Eric Williams. Williams has been really good for them this half. They've got Keon Clark, who's out there 6'11", Stiff 6'5", Williams 6'8". And then they go with Van Exel, a little smaller at one of the guards.
He's got 16.4, so they're going to hope for the final shot of the half.
Flat.
A 22-point lead right now, and Damon starts to bring it in with 4 on the shot clock. A leap and leaner, tipped up by Grant, and they get it, and that is the end of the first half. So at the end of the half, the Blazers with a superb first half of basketball. Let's take a look at some of the scores from around the league. One fellow that's not asleep, Steve, is Brian Grant. He's had 12 rebounds in this game so far. We'll get to those scores in a moment. As the Blazers get it in deep, Ryder, who drew the defense, he dishes to Grant. There's Grant again. You know, going back, we talk about irony. Here are some of those scores. 3 of the first 5 Blazer hoops of the game were three-pointers. And that's against a team that leads the league in 3 points attempted. And Brian Stiff makes a 2-pointer on that one. There's San Antonio losing to the Suns. Chicago beaten by Milwaukee. That Milwaukee team 5-1. Seattle, big lead over Sacramento, improved at the half and traveling on Brian.
Did everything right, Eddie, on that play except finish it. He didn't quite catch the ball where he wanted to. Had to shuffle the feet in order to finish the play.
Don Nelson trying to get that Dallas Maverick team back in sync. Plus 6 games in a row. As LaFrance pulls up a little bit short and out of bounds it goes. And the Blazers, Rasheed and Damon, with Walt Williams, Brian Grant, and J.R. Ryder. And I don't think you can understate how important a fellow like Rasheed Wallace is, who can give you 3 spots on the floor. And a tough fadeaway shot after the foul by Phillips, but in one motion. So J.R. Ryder credited with the 2, and on the Phillips foul, he will go to the line. Mike Dunleavy happy about that. One of those nights where Dunleavy looks like he's breathing pretty easily, at least right now.
You can't breathe easily now. You can never breathe easily.
Well, you said it right coming into the start of this third quarter. D'Antoni and the rest of the league is well aware that the Blazers have had some lapses and have seen some big leads gone bye-bye. Of course, the Nuggets know a lot about giving up big leads. They had a 19-pointer on Monday night against Phoenix and blew it and lost.
But you just don't like what the Nuggets are doing at the offensive end in terms of, do they have an awareness of where they want to attack and how they want to get scores for the people out on the floor. They seem to just be passing the ball without any purpose. McDyess, who is really very good down on the low post, has not really had a lot of chances to get any kind of rhythm. They've worked to him right now. He's 2 of 11 in that first half.
That last stoppage of play, foul called against Walt Williams, and McDyess in that low post gets that little jump hook. 63-40, 23-point Blazers lead. McDyess with 6. He's their leading scorer. They're on 20 a game. 19-9. They clear it up. 12 turnovers for the Blazers. Flash to the middle, and then throwing the ball away was Nick Van Exel. Reload by LaFrance, picked up loose, and a slash to the rack there by Stiff. And it doesn't go, and Walt Williams will get to Damon. Lead ahead trying to go to Rasheed Wallace, but their transition got back to break it up. Phillips and Van Exel, and was knocked out of bounds by Denver. And so the Blazers will inbound side front. 19 seconds on the clock. Mike D'Antoni. All his coaching experience in the Italian League. 178-78. Nice record for him. Over a 70% winning percentage. They loved him in Italy. Down to Brian Grant. And Grant gets the roll. Over top and down. He's got 6, but his name has been etched in the rebound column tonight, where he's got 13.
Well, difference in the top of this third quarter than the Maverick third quarter. The Trailblazers were a jump shooting team and a quick jump shooting team, and that hurt them. McDyess trying to roll inside will get fouled against Brian Grant. They've been attacking here in the first 3 or 4 possessions. That's going to keep the Nuggets on their heels.
Bryant gets his first foul of the game, Snapper. 9:29 to play here in the third quarter. Blazers a day off tomorrow. Grant can use it, so the rest of the fellas. And then Boston, family fun night on Friday with Golden State on Saturday. And then the guys hit the road. They'll be gone for 4 games and 5 nights away. And the dice. pulls up with the old short arm routine. Damon inside trying to go to Rasheed, knocked away again, and hurtling into the crowd. Number 14, Eric Washington.
No, that was Antonio McDyess.
Was that McDyess?
He's upside down, but he's okay right now. We wonder about the fan and his condition down there. He seems to be okay as well. Last two examples of Wallace's ability to beat people down the floor. He's been there. The passes have been off the mark, and the Nuggets have been able to get back and make saves. But that's the kind of pressure you want to keep on the defense, make them transition back, force them to make some sort of dive where you're going to get an easy bucket.
Ryder to Stoudemire and back to Rasheed Wallace in the live action. And Rasheed hits the jumper. 67-40, score of the ball game. Blazers with the lead. Rasheed with 16. He's the leading Blazers scorer. Van Exel. Nice soft roll. We've seen that before as he comes down the lane with a runner. And Nick Van Exel has got 8 points. Van Exel has been just what they thought they were going to get. Done a nice job for them so far. Second leading scorer, around 17 tonight. There's a nice pass. Walt Williams to Rasheed.
That's what we've been talking about. You want to see the Trailblazers do pass and cut. A little give and go, and it's a hammer on the top by Wallace, who's having a terrific ball game.
18 points for Rasheed. Antonio McDyess, short. Rebound, LaFrentz. Swing it on top between the circles. Now they go out to Nick Van Exel. LaFrentz tries to peel out of there and drop down into the well. They go McDyess to LaFrentz. Double down by Grant and Wallace. Slash from the weak side stiff. They didn't see him. Into the corner. That's LaFrentz. It's shy. And the rebound. They get to it for a moment. Ryder's got it. Damon sneaks out ahead of the crowd. And there he is on the receiving end. And it squeezes one out of the pastry bag for a pair. 71-42. LaFrentz, nice pass by Nick Van Exel. Well, LaFrentz has got 8 points. McDyess, incidentally, in this game, really not typically McDyess. 3 of 12 in his field goal shooting. Only 6 points for the night, 4 rebounds. Ryder, he misses, and Brian Grant and McDyess hustling for it. And it'll be Brian Grant's loose ball foul. Going back and taking a look at this last play a little early.
Well, we get a chance to look at some of the new things that we're going to give you, but from the slam cam, watch the effort of Rasheed Wallace over the top. And Wallace has been a very active and aggressive player for the Trailblazers at the offensive end. Kelvin Cato in, Wallace out.
Cato with a look. Arvidas has played sparingly tonight. That was part of the plan of Mike Dunleavy, to rest him where they could. Van Exel comes up short on that little curl play as he runs down the middle. McDyess on the first, ties the second, fouled on the play. And this foul on Kelvin Cato. He's got 3. Pretty good action underneath here.
McDyess is he's got very quick leaping ability, can get back and recover, kept the pressure on the interior of the Trailblazer defense, and Cato, who's pretty quickly for himself, could react, gets him across the arm.
He was drafted originally by the Clippers. They traded his draft rights to Denver, and then he was traded originally with Randy Woods for Rodney Rogers and Brent Perry. So, I mean, that was a pretty big trade at the time. And then, of course, down to Phoenix. A big controversy just before the start of the season. They were signing with the Denver Nuggets. Cato's pass for Damon. Stolen by Phillips. Blocked by Cato. And I'll tell you one thing he does extremely well. He blocks it and keeps it in play, and he does that with regularity.
Now, that was a great recovery by Cato, because he airmailed that one right to Chauncey Billups. A little bit upset with himself, hustled back, made a big save. 9 on the shot clock for Walt Williams.
Williams on the overlay. JR tries to save, and he just can't quite pull it off. Walt Williams a hair late trying to get to it. At a timeout. 71-46 Blazers. Blazers on the hustle board, out top, big on the rebounds, 32-23. You're on, buddy. You're on. Guy brings a sign to let everybody know he wants on. Rebounds important. Blazers 32-23. Against a team that had 54 rebounds against the LA Lakers when they played them recently, the Denver Nuggets. 71-46, Portland. Nick Van Exel. High screen by McDyess on the pick and roll. Cato switches over, plays him. Keon Clark on the recovery. Hangs in the air, and a foul called on Brian Grant. Well, they could have called that either way. Clark looked like he could have been called for the push-off as well.
Quick ball movement, and Clark chases his own, and you could see the arm of Grant right in the chest of Clark.
Blazers now over the limit with 6.5 to play in the quarter. That is their 5th team foul. And Clark on the miss. Average about 15 points and 9 rebounds a game at UNLV last year. This is both. Stoudemire, Cato, Williams trying to back down. He's got Phillips posted up, and that was money. Took advantage of that matchup. Phillips is only 6'3".
Now, what he did was have the patience and let the shot blocking of Clark clear out of the way, and it's an easy opportunity to see the glass knock it down.
Stiff has been quiet. Defended by Williams, inside to McDyess, defended by Cato, and McDyess is knocked to the deck.
McDyess has not had anything easy tonight, and the one thing Portland has done is made an effort to make sure that he's going to struggle at the offensive end. The defense has been reacting to him in the entire evening, a collision, but McDyess is knowing, hey, every time I touch it, I'm paying the price.
That's 4 fouls, incidentally, on Kelvin Cato. That baby honeycombs the ring and drops down. He had a career-high 19 rebounds, did McDyess. That's Kelvin Cato's 4th, as you can see with the penalty. 19 rebounds just recently on the 10th of February against the Lakers. So McDyess not having one of his games, but a lot of that due to the fact that the Blazers have done a terrific job on him. He makes both free throws. He's got 10 points.
Again, Walt Williams down on the post. This time coming the other way, reacts, slides it over to Brian Grant. He just shoveled it over. Nice 2, 6 1/4 for Grant. So they've been able to bring Brian Grant into the ball game.
And then the 3rd assist for Walt. Very nicely done. Keon Clark comes all the way underneath and throws it in with the left hand. 75-50. Blazers with 5:20 in the 3rd. They split the season series with Denver a year ago, losing 2 over there and winning 2 here. J.R. Ryder tries to work Phillips off the double team. Nice pass to Brian Grant.
What Grant has done is just stay in the slot and keep himself available for either Ryder or Williams to find. Drop the ball up. Just coming to the rim. Can't get the angle.
Grant's got 8 in the quarter, 10 in the game now. To go with those rebounds, and he's got a bundle of them. And a jumper by Antonio McDyess. Now, his game is usually inside, but he figures he's got to do something to try and get this thing closer. He's got 12, 8 in the quarter, and it's 77-52, the Trailblazers.
Walt Williams at the top, but they find Grant right back inside. Throw down over the top, so it's been Grant at point-blank range, 10 in the quarter.
12 in the game. McDyess, drop off to Clark, blocked by Kelvin Cato. He thought he got him, and that's number 5 on Cato with 4:12 in the 3rd.
Well, use them all. That's the way I see it. This is the kind of game where you just stay in there and use them all, but he's going to come out, Jermaine O'Neal in the ball game. No, he's going to stay on. Grant goes out.
Rasheed is on the side getting ready, so he probably will replace Kelvin Cato. And Clark at the line, misses on the first. Now here comes Rasheed Wallace, and there goes Kelvin Cato. And Rasheed, 8 for 12 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 18 points. And Kelvin with some nice defensive work with 5 fouls. Keon Clark trying his second make it. 79-53, the Trailblazers on top since the opening tip. Have never been headed, not been close. Stoudemire. Ryder looks to come over and set the high pick, and then he brings Rasheed into it and says, you go there, I'm going on top. Damon way back to Walt, tries to ring it deep and can on the missed 3 ball. It's his first missed 3 of the game. And Bryant Stith will go down to Rafe LaFrance. And he's got Jermaine. Tries to square up. Jermaine won't give it to him. Stith on top, iron. And Damon's got it. Now you got a 2-on-2 breakaway. Now 3-on-3, and O'Neal ahead of the crowd. Back to Walt. He slices through the crowd like a rapier. You know what a rapier is? One of those. 79-53. Rapier-like slashing to the basket. On the inbound with 14 on the clock, Jermaine to Ryder. Ryder with a nice little move inside. He's got 14 points tonight.
Against a cheese clock defense, Portland's been able to move ball, move people, get whatever kind of shot they want. And they have made the Nuggets pay here in the third quarter, building on that lead. William check. Damon Stoudemire.
Blazers led by 22 at the half. Now they lead 81-53. So exactly what they wanted to do, Steve. What's been a problem is Eric Washington comes in and Bryant Stith goes out. The problems the Blazers have had in the past with losing the big lead. Tonight they've built on it, which is a good sign.
I'm sure that they talked about it. The one thing that they don't want to do when they have a team down is let them back in the ball game, even though you know you're going to lose some of your lead, but you've got to be doing the things that will eventually extend it, which is move the ball, move people, stay in the high percentage area, and they've done all of that here in the third quarter.
Jimmy Jackson comes in the ball game. Walt Williams goes out. LaFrance with a rebound. Close range. Skims the rim, and the rebound by Jackson. Jim Jackson gets the rebound. Ryder to Jermaine. Sets up on LaFrance. 6'11 on 6'11. Nicely done. Nice little low box post up.
Now this is the kind of player that Jermaine O'Neal can play against in the low post. LaFrance is not a physical player. JR is not. And there is Cleon Clark over the top.
A nice pass by Van Exel. Of course, he delivered some of that room service stuff to Shaquille over the last couple of years in L.A. as well. 7 for Clark. Damon. Foul line. In deep. Jermaine again. Blocked inside by McDyess. Ball kicked. And the Blazers will bring it back. 5 on the shot clock. Damon's got to hustle. Brings it up in 3 territory. Partially blocked by Rafe LaFrance and a 24-second violation against the Blazers. But a big lead, 83-56. Boy, we have some great events coming up at the Rose Garden, and they include Disney on Ice. That's at the Garden on February 25th, 2/28. Then Marilyn Manson. And that will be in the Rose Garden on Saturday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at all Rose Quarter ticket office and all Ticketmaster locations, or you call that number. Yeah, that's a famous number, 224-4400. Marilyn Manson and Hole coming to the Rose Garden.
Well, the Nuggets have improved their shooting 41% in a quarter, but the Trailblazers are up to 71% as Van Exel pulls one out. That is a typical Van Exel effort. He's got 5 in the quarter.
11 for the night. Van Exel from the University of Cincinnati, where his coach there, Bob Huggins, said that he was always diligent about getting to work on time and working extremely hard in practice. Jimmy Jackson for Ryder. Oh, he almost had 3. On the rebound by Antonio McDyess. 83-58 is our score as we wind down the third. Van Exel looking for the high pick. Goes to Keon Clark. And McDyess called for the travel. And the turnover, number 11 on the Denver Nuggets.
Problem for McDyess that time was Clark on the drive ended up bringing his man right into the area where McDyess was, and even though you lay it off, he's got no room to work, and he traveled.
83-58, Blazers with a lead. Stoudemire, high screen by Jermaine, tries to back down. He's tied up in there physically by McDyess. They give it to Rasheed, there he is, and the rebound coming from the other side, there'll be a jump ball. Jermaine got a piece of the action. And there will be a jump ball.
Well, it's rare that Wallace is that off on a shot that close to the rim, but he didn't quite have control of it, went on the other side. Portland has the advantage with O'Neal on the tap. Now they have to figure out where they want to tap the ball. The Nuggets are going to gamble, so what they want them to do is tap the ball back between Jackson and Stoudemire.
Damon pulls up, takes the 2, rebound fought for Jermaine, knocked out of bounds, and it'll go where? To the Denver Nuggets. Steve, when you look at that Denver bench, you're looking at Mike Dunleavy now. If you look back at Denver's bench, some very familiar names. Mike Evans, John Lucas, and Louis Dampier. I know you know him from the ABA.
Well, they wish they could bring all them back and play, because at least they knew what they were going to get from them as LaFrance lays it in.
Nice pass from McDyess. LaFrance right there at the rim, and it's 83-60. The Trailblazers with the lead. JR backs out, squares up, shoots the 3. And the Blazers now on 3-ball shooting, 5 for 8. And the Nuggets are 0 for 8, which is really uncharacteristic. Number 1, that they haven't hit any threes, but number 2, they've taken so few. They lead the league in 3-point field goals attempted this young season. Van Exel, pull up.
Lock out.
He's been tough. That shot just wouldn't stay. McDyess, and he threw it down as the buzzer sounds to end the 3rd quarter. Now, that was all on guts by McDyess, and the Blazers after 3 lead at 86-60.
It's a Wednesday night at the beautiful Rose Garden, and you're watching Trailblazer basketball on Blazer Vision. Again, where are you, folks? Pendleton? Maybe you're in John Day, Coos Bay, Lincoln City, out on the coast to Astoria. Wherever you may be, stay tuned. Blazers tattooing Denver. Once again, Eddie and Steve.
All right, Shines, thank you. And we'd like to take a look at the scoring by quarters. It's been a lot of fun. And there it is. Blazers outscoring Denver in each quarter so far here tonight after that 13-0 start. And when you look at the field goal shooting, Steve, we'll take this every night out.
Oh, the Trailblazers have done a very good job. The Nuggets at least got in the ball game in terms of scoring the ball in the quarter. They got 26 points after they had a very difficult time in the first half. Van Exel spoons that one in and out.
Van Exel can shoot that 3 now. And Damon brings it up, leads for Jimmy Jackson, deflected by a couple of the Nuggets. And they come away with the ball. Off the turnover, the Blazers have 15.
Now, with a big lead, what a coach looks for and what all the players should try to strive for is making good decisions with the ball, making good decisions about what's going on out there on the floor so that they continue to build on the lead.
And Rafe LaFrance trying to take it right to the rack. And fouled on the play. All the Blazers, incidentally, so far, their starters are in double figures tonight.
First team foul.
That's number 2 on the sheet.
What LaFrance shows you is the ability to go both ways off the dribble. A big guy, but he's very mobile, does a very good job of attacking. And, you know, even though they put him in a position where he is going to physically get beat up, he has some advantages against big people because of that quickness and that mobility. Misses them both again.
They get the rebound. And the ball taken away by Rasheed Wallace. And then it's taken away from him by Rafe LaFrance. Challenges Rasheed, rolls it around the iron, and Rasheed picks up another foul. As we recheck the numbers, that is actually Rasheed's 4th foul. And the Blazers' 2nd. That's his 4th foul and the team's 2nd. But Rasheed has had quite a ball game with 18 points. The other starters, Walt with 11, Grant with 12, Ryder with 17, and Stoudemire 11. First time this year all the starters have been in double numbers.
Mike.
And the free throw by LaFrance is good. He's got 11 points and 11 rebounds so far here tonight. The Suns beat the Spurs in San Antonio, 79-78.
Now, San Antonio got players to score the ball from them, but right now it seems like they got the same problem they had a year ago. If it isn't Duncan and Robinson, they're not getting much in terms of offensive production, and that's going to hurt them as they push through this season. They've got to figure out a way to score the basketball.
86-64, Blazers. Stoudemire on the miss. Jermaine getting a lot of time, couldn't get the rebound. Out ahead they come, and that ball will come back to the Trailblazers with Jermaine, Stoudemire, Stacey Augmon, Jimmy Jackson, and Rasheed Wallace on the floor for the Trailblazers.
Sometimes when a player is out in front, as LaFrance was, the guy that's throwing him the ball has to remember who he is and what he can do with it if he catches it. And that time, LaFrance had no chance to catch that ball, so there was going to be no finish.
Ogner, how about that circus shot? Wow. That's a BP move of the game. Up they come, and McDyess on the long lob from 3/4 of the floor by Van Exel. And it's 88-66. A 22-point Blazers lead. Their big lead has been 29 points tonight. Damon on a high screen by Rasheed. Look for the pick and slip. Rasheed a little slow on the release and takes the jumper. Out ahead on the break the other end, and that's Eric Washington.
Now that's what you don't want. A jump shot at the other end, but you're not covering your end of the floor, and it's an easy lob for them. They get a push and a run out. Eric Williams for two. Eric Washington.
Damon crosses over. Tries to beat his man off the dribble. Does Van Exel with a reach-in foul. The holding call, 88-68, timeout. Blazers lead.
At his absolute best. When there's no angle, he's able to create something, and that's just a terrific effort by him. Has to be.
BP, we keep you moving. 88-68 is what we have. Blazers on top, and it's been their game all night long. And they were looking for this kind of a game, Steve, where they could get out and find a way to pull everything together, like we said, waiting for the jello to gel.
You know, and they're still working. You know, you like to say it's a work in progress, and there still are, but there's a lot of very positive things that they've done tonight, and they want to continue to roll here for the final 9:43 of the fourth quarter of play.
All right, you got Greg Anthony in the ball game with Damon out, Stacey Augmon, Rasheed Wallace, Jermaine O'Neal, and Jimmy Jackson. There's Jackson. Pump fake, pull up on the iron. And Rafe LaFrentz with a rebound.
They haven't had to do a lot of trapping here in this ball game because they've had the Nuggets confused, playing out on the perimeter, shooting deep, and they've been able to rebound the ball, pretty much do what they wanted at the offensive end.
Friends dishing over to Washington, and they're trying to move it around the perimeter, work for a shot. There's McDyess taking the shot, or pardon me, Clark taking the shot. The rebound coming off to the Blazers. Jimmy Jackson tries to take it, throw it back to Anthony, and Washington standing right in between he and the ball. LaFrentz, and fouled by Greg Anthony. Well, Rafe LaFrentz on his way to the basket, fouled by Anthony, and LaFrentz is starting to put up some numbers.
What LaFrentz shows you is he's a big guy that can get up and down the floor, and when the ball is away from him, he's hustling to the other end, trying to find a way to get some cheap points back at the free throw line. LaFrentz
makes on the first. He's got 13 points, and to go with that, 12 rebounds. 8 for 7 at the line, and as we told you, he made his first 16 free throws when he came into the NBA. And he's leading them in three-point field goal shooting percentage and free throw shooting percentage. 14 points makes both 88-70. They get it down under 20. Anthony to Rasheed. Triangle on the ball side. Touch pass inside Jimmy Jackson to O'Neal. Anthony comes out of there with it. Bango. To give him a pair. And it's 90-70. The Trailblazer lead 20. And Anthony's got 3 points for the night.
And there was a case where they almost overpassed, and Anthony got him out of it. O'Neal had an opportunity inside and gave it up.
There's McDyess on the pick and roll. They'll go on top to LaFrentz. Drives down the middle instead. Fouled again. And who's this on? Greg Anthony. Oh, Anthony gets the foul. And they'll put LaFrentz at the line. He shoots a lot of free throws. He's a very active young player.
He's attacking. He's doing what Eric Williams did in that second quarter, and that's bringing the ball to the rim. When you do that, you get a chance to get to the free throw line. You get a chance to put a team in a penalty. The next one will put the Trailblazers in the penalty. They'll be shooting free throws the remainder of the quarter.
90-70. 20-point lead. We're down to 8 minutes. Jermaine sinks back to help out, and the passer goes to the post. McDyess tries to take it up against the crowd. And the Blazers, who are down deep, are called for the foul, and Stacey Augmon gets this one, number 1. And the Blazers now at 7:55, Steve, already in the penalty situation. They did it at 6:30 in the third quarter. And because the Nuggets are being so aggressive going to the basket, they picked up a lot of fouls this half.
Well, they picked up a lot. That mismatch was started when Anthony was switched off on McDyess. Jackson came over, tried to front. They were able to lob the ball over the top, and the defense reacted. McDyess 1 of 2. LaFrance misses that one right at the basket.
Ty stays with it, gets it again. Another rebound. And there's a goaltending call on Jermaine O'Neal. So Ray LaFrance now has got himself 14 rebounds for the game and 16 points. He hasn't had to go back up against the Behemoth much tonight, as Arvydas Sabonis has played very sparingly in this game, 5 minutes. And on the miss by Jimmy Jackson, here they come. 90-73, a 17-point lead, and that's good by Eric Washington with plenty of time left, 7 1/4. Timeout. Blazers on top. Fourth quarter. For me to remind you of some of the things that are coming up. Important things like tickets on sale for the Saturday Blazers-Warriors game at the Garden. Blazer tickets available at all Ticketmaster locations, or come down to the Rose Quarter ticket office to avoid the service charge. That's the Golden State Warriors coming up on Saturday.
Like a coach that wants to win games, he comes back with the people that he feels are going to do the job for him. Wallace misses that one. And right now the Trailblazer offense is stalled, but they've got the guys that have been very productive for them. Wallace, Grant, Williams, Stoudemire, and Ryder out on the floor. Corey Alexander, nice drive.
And this ball game is starting to get dangerously close. A 12-point Blazers lead, 90-78 with 6:48 to play in regulation. This is a 16-4 run by the Denver Nuggets.
You know teams are going to make a run. The thing that you want to do is figure out how to reestablish yourself. Those are the kinds of plays that will regain your momentum, even though Wallace missed the drop right at the rim.
Ryder defending on Eric Washington. 6'5" against 6'4". Down into the hole they go to Danny Fortson, and an illegal defense is called on the Trailblazers.
Ryder dropped back, got in between, didn't double team the ball, wasn't up on his man.
We've seen very little of Arvydas Sabonis tonight. Mike Dunleavy did not like that call by the official. Illegal defense, that's the first. Bob Delaney working with Jim Capers and Jim Kinsey. That shot way short by Alexander on the three. Fortune knocked out of there by Rasheed. Jump stop by Eric Washington. Loose ball foul called on Danny Fortune or Keon Clark. Who is it? It's going to be Fortune.
The thing that D'Antoni likes right now is the energy that his team is putting forth and trying to make some plays to get back in the ball game. So the Trailblazers just have to match that energy level at both ends of the floor, and that will allow them to put this game away.
Under 6 to play. Rasheed from behind the basket, and a very difficult shot, and a foul called against Rasheed Wallace. So Wallace gets the foul. That's number 5 on him. Started at the center position tonight, played most of his time there. And Wallace with 5. Penalty situation in, has been in since the 7:55 mark.
It is a shooter, and Sabonis will come in the ball game now.
He's only played 5 minutes, and Mike Dunleavy wanted desperately not to have to play him at all, if possible tonight. Maybe a couple minutes, which he got, 5 minutes, but he's coming in now, and Rasheed Wallace will come out.
Bob Delaney, looking in the direction of Rasheed Wallace, had some thoughts about blowing a tee his way as Wallace went out.
One of the 2 free throws made, an 11-point ball game. Down to Arvydas, back to an open wall, swing it to an open Ryder. He's got a 3. He misses the 3. He gets the rebound. Starts to dance into the attacking zone and brings it back out to Damon Stoudemire, who'll set up the offense. Walt Williams, jump stop in the middle, needed it. Bryant tries to follow and can't get it. Ball will come back to the Blazers. So the Blazers' field goal shooting percentage has taken a severe drop here in the fourth quarter.
Well, in that third quarter, they shot 71% at one point in the quarter. They were getting all of the shots. They seem to have lost their rhythm right now. And again, it comes from the energy from the opponent. The Nuggets have picked things up at the defensive end. And if you're going to match it and continue to score, you got to be more aggressive offensively. Sabonis.
That could have been the BP move of the game, too. The Blazers now are 3 for 13 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. 3 for 13. Under 5 to play in the game.
Good. See the ball.
92-79 by 13.
Hands up.
Over the top with the ball, Corey Alexander. Swing it to LaFrentz. He's dangerous, and he drives right in over. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He drives right into Arvydas, who I thought got there in time to set himself.
LaFrentz is coming. It's Sabonis' turn.
Yep,
you have to stay right there and take that full run right into the chest, and he didn't. So LaFrentz comes back to the line. There's one thing you can say about LaFrentz and Eric Williams. They're bringing it to the rim.
We've not seen much of Eric Williams in this half, by the way. Don't know if anything's wrong with him. LaFrentz misses the first.
With the surgery, they're trying to bring him back slowly, and so they don't want to work him too hard early.
This guy who was 90% coming in at the line is 4 for 9 tonight, and he makes this one 5 for 10. 92-80. The Trailblazers with a 12-point lead that at one time was 29.
7 in the quarter for LaFrentz.
He has been very good for them here in the second half. Now Arvydas wants to set up. They double from the top with Clark, and they leave Walt Williams open, and guess what? Bingo! He's got 14. And that is his 4th 3 of the game. He is 4 for 9 on his field goal shooting with 14 points for the night. Corey Alexander, offensive foul on Keon Clark. Tried to set the screen and then go away, but when he did that, he took Damon with him. And they caught it. And so the offensive foul called. It's on Clark. That's his first, and Mike D'Antoni is saying, okay, guys, hang in there. Mike, an extremely bright guy who always tries to get to Italy once a year. Now, off the ball, we got a foul called on Ryder.
And Ryder and Eric Washington hooked up in the last place is what Bob Delaney saw. And that was Ryder busting away after he'd been held. 18
turnovers for Portland. 14 turnovers for the Denver Nuggets.
And against a team that struggles, the one thing you don't want to do is give them extra opportunities. McDyess couldn't gather that rebound. He was right there at the rim for that miss from Corey Alexander.
Sabonis looks stiff when he runs back up the floor. 16 rebounds for Brian Grant. 16 boards for Grant tonight. That's his best this year. Inside, Arvydas trying to hook to Grant coming up the base, knocked away by McDyess, and gives it to Alexander as we crawl down close to the 3-minute mark.
The only way the team gets back in the ball game is poor shot selection and turning the ball over. And the Trailblazers have had a frustrating quarter with that. LaFrentz again on the floor.
And this time Walt Williams blocks it.
At that time, Ryder should have been looking for a bust out. Instead, he pulls it back. And whenever you've got a block and a team in transition, you want to get to the other end of the floor as quickly as you can to see if you got that easy layup.
Damon trying to post up Ryder, and Ryder's fouled from behind by Eric Washington. Well, we have a timeout, and the Blazers' lead is now 15. You see what's happening here in the fourth quarter? Denver outscoring the Blazers 18-9. But this block by Walt Williams was massive to try and stem that little run.
One thing the Trailblazers have done in the early part of this season is have good reaction to the ball, particularly in the basket area. Walt Williams goes up, slaps that one back. But we have seen it from Williams, Grant, Cato, Wallace, all of those guys that have the ability to slap shots back have been there to make saves for the Trailblazers. Looking for Ryder down on the post against Washington.
Blazers have had good spacing tonight. They spread the floor and they've created outside basket opportunities, while the Nuggets have been sinking back in the hole. Ryder on the drive. Brian Grant tries to keep it live. Evidence of that, Steve, the Blazers tonight, outside of 15 feet, have outscored the Nuggets 34-7. That means they've been shooting the three ball well, and they have 6 for 10 on their three-point attempts tonight, while the Nuggets are very poor, 1 of 12.
Big coming.
Keon Clark cuts to the base, tries to take it back door, and stepped out of bounds. 95-80, 2:27 to play in regulation.
What's that pick?
And Damon Stoudemire with Walt Williams will bring it over. Brian Grant, Arvydas Sabonis, and J.R. Ryder.
Well, in the final 2:20, what you want to see the Trailblazers do is just kind of reignite their offensive energy. They have struggled here in the quarter. They've had some pretty good shots, but they haven't been going in. Walt Williams for 3.
That's number 5. That's number 5, and he's got 17 points tonight. And again, that spacing has really been good tonight. And they've made the Nuggets really have to work hard to get back to the open man. Walt 5 for 6 on his three ball, and on that missed shot by Corey Alexander. Was that Alexander? No, Eric Washington.
Ryder got off balance and bumped into Washington. Washington will come to the line. That's the kind of shot that coaches hate to see a guy get fouled on. Chances of it going in were very, very slim when it left his hand.
Eric Washington at the line, shooting 2.
He'll get 2 shots. Washington fouled by J.R. Ryder, and Ryder not arguing his 3rd foul. And the Blazers have been over the limit for some time.
Lockout.
Walt Williams has been terrific on that 3-shot tonight. That 3 ball has been right on the money. 5 of 6 for Walt. And 1 of 2 free throws for Washington at the line, and the Blazers now lead by 17. Damon looks for Arvydas coming back door right left. Then the back door move by Damon, leaves for Brian Grant right there at the rim, and fouled on the play.
That's the kind of offensive ball movement energy that they had in that 3rd quarter when they were in that stretch where they scored 12 of 17 field goals. Right now getting it back in the closing moments of this ball game. 1:40 left in this one. Grant at the line.
Blazers having had a nice rush thrown at them by the Nuggets, 16-4, but they've pushed that aside. And now as they take it down the back stretch, leading at 98-81. Remember, the Nuggets, a team that gives up the most points in the NBA. They've been giving up a little over 105 a game. And the Blazers missing 2 free throws by Grant at 98-81, a lead with 1:37 remaining in it. Friday night, the Boston Celtics family fun night. Well, that's a fun evening, I guess is the best way to put it. Get yourself a whole bunch of goodies and tickets start at $59.
One of the problems you have when you get big leads is it's hard for the players out on the floor to keep their interest, and so you're naturally fighting the instincts of players to say this game is over, and you got to constantly push and remind them. Even though we have the game in hand, we've got to make the smart decisions. We got to put the opponent away.
And Corey Alexander makes the free throws to make it 98-83. So Alexander in the game now with 3 points for the night. Ryder, rhythm bounce, step around Washington, let it fly and can't get it. Grant tries to peel it away. Ball loose on the floor, almost a scrum, and Corey Alexander comes out of there with it. And Eric Washington shoots the J. No. Brian Grant laying in the weeds, comes up with his 16th or 17th rebound of the ball game.
Big effort by Grant. He was down on the floor at the other end, got up, scrambled back, and just flew through to get that one, make a save for Portland. Stoudemire.
Kept alive. Grant trying to get it. Grant's best board effort of the year has been 11. His career high is 20. And the Blazers on another turnover by the Nuggets. Get it up to Ryder. Ryder all the way up and underneath. And with 36.5 seconds remaining, Ryder will be fouled on the play, and that will put the Denver Nuggets in the penalty situation. And we're going to see Jermaine O'Neal again.
Well, O'Neal and Cato go to the scores table, 36.5 left in the ball game.
Shooting 2.
I think Greg Anthony's going to try and get back in the ball game also. We did not see John Crotty or Carlos Rogers. Bonzi Wells. And Arvidas will come out of there now. Kelvin Cato will come back with 5 fouls. And Ryder with 18 points. Brian Grant comes out with his best effort on the boards this year. And really his best effort of the year overall, I think. Even though he scored some points, he was very active tonight. Very. Brian Grant with 12 points, and he ended up with 17 rebounds. And Ryder makes the second, makes both free throws, and the Blazers hit the century mark. Steve, 100 to 83.
You know, that was a number that was well in hand for them early in the quarter, and you thought it would be easy, but they struggled in the period scoring the ball to France for 3.
Hard off the rim, and Ryder can't save it. 4 tickets, 4 Blazer Dogs, 4 soft drinks, and a game program starting at $59 for Family Fun Night this Friday night against the Boston Celtics. Tickets available at all Ticketmaster locations as Corey Alexander hits the jumper. Or come on down to the Rose Quarter ticket office to avoid the service charge.
Corey Alexander's always been a guy that's been miscast. He's more of a scoring guard than he is one that's going to run the show as Greg Anthony dribbles out the clock.
And that'll do it as the Blazers come up with a real good effort here tonight and are now 4-2 while Denver goes to 1-7. And Mike Dunleavy's got to feel pretty good about this one. Final score of the ball game, the Blazers 100, the Denver Nuggets 85, with the Boston Celtics coming in on Friday.